Hi everyone, this is ZPJ. Today I'd like to talk about the Shadow Hills dual Vandergraph. And I do have other Pro Gear, other compressors. And I'd like to talk about what this particular compressor does to your music, what kind of analog signal it provides, what kind of flavor it adds to your music, how it shapes your music. Let's start. Considering the availability of Pro Gear and considering the number of plugins available, is the Shadow Hills dual Vandergraph still a contender amongst the heavyweights? The Shadow Hills dual Vandergraph has 4 selectable compression ratios and 3 sidechain filters with a bandpass option and 2 knobs, one for gain, one for compression. If there's still any doubt in anyone's mind about plugins, so we have the Shadow Hills Class A mastering compressor plugin or the outboard dual Vandergraph. Which one is better? Sure, the plugin has more functionality. And it does give a good presence and a good punch and vibe, and it gives weight to the sound. But in terms of weight, in terms of that analog feel, it gets you maybe 90 to 93, 94% there. But now imagine you're building a house and your house is 92, 93, 94% complete. Let's say 95% complete. That house is missing a lot. That 5% makes a big, big difference. It's a big, big deal. In terms of sound quality, in terms of that analog presence, that analog 3D weight, the outboard Vandergraph, the dual Vandergraph, is by far more superior than the Shadow Hills plugin. And the Shadow Hills plugin is no joke. It's not a slouch plugin. It's a great plugin. But the Vandergraph really adds volume, really adds character, really adds that factor to your mixes. So you mix your and then you can use the Shadow Hills plugin on your tracks and your final stereo output as well to give it that character. But in order to give the music that real Shadow Hills outboard character and weight, run the stereo output or save it as a file, as a high quality file, and then run it out of your DAW, run it through the dual Vandergraph and record it back into your DAW. And the transformation of the music, the added weight, the added analog feel will really surprise you. I think it's safe to say that if you have the Vandergraph and then you have the plugin, you can get a lot achieved tonally, quite in a very pleasing way. So my take on the dual Vandergraph overall is it's a wonderful product. It's fantastic. It's great. I highly recommend it to you guys out there. So I give it a 2 thumbs up. It really sweetens the music. It really gives it character. It really gives it body. You want the real essence of life, that 3-dimensional feel of having things surround you, you got to go analog. You got to invest a little bit in outboard gear. Otherwise, it's no siree. It's not going to be happening for you in terms of that immersed outboard gear, that three-dimensionality to your music. It's not going to happen. So highly recommend it. Dual Vandergraph. ZPJ, over and out.